Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is the Top Delinquent, Chapter 20, and this one is titled Protective Iida. You remained in his embrace far longer than you ever thought possible. Just being with him was calming enough for you, and before long you started yawning like crazy. Have you been sleeping adequately? Iida asked as he pushed you back a little to look at your face. You shook your head sadly. You have a nap now, and I'll watch over you, he said softly. I won't let anyone come in. A weight was lifted from your shoulders at his words. Iida had proven multiple times that he was capable of protecting you, unafraid of throwing hands, so you took him up on the offer as he lay back down on the bed. Iida hopped off the bed and pulled the chair out at your desk, sitting himself down comfortably and placing his arms on the desk. You lay facing him, your eyes travelling over his features. Had he always been this attractive? Iida could feel your eyes on him, but refused to look at you. He didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable in any way, so decided to keep his eyes averted. Iida? You whispered softly. Yes, Yin? He asked as he hesitated a glance towards you. I'm sorry for the way I treated you before, you said softly, as another tear slipped down your cheek. Forgiven, Yin, he replied with a soft smile, before looking back at the desk. Iida? You asked again. Yes, Yin? He queried gently, his small irises finding yours behind his glasses. How did you find me that night? Why did you come? Iida knew exactly what you were referring to, and sighed as he recalled the order of events on that fateful evening. I picked up your call, he said softly as he returned his gaze to the desk, but then it dropped out. You remembered back to the initial heartbreak when you saw the call fail. Then, when you rang a second time, I picked that up too, and... He paused, adjusting his glasses and clenching his jaw. I heard his voice on the other end. He balled his fists in anger at the memory. I immediately used the phone tracker app while keeping you on loudspeaker, while I ran for the door. When I saw your location was a distance away from me, I hung up and rang the police, but I still ran. More tears streamed down your cheeks as he spoke, but this time from gratitude at his persistence in wanting to find you. But why, Iida? Why? Why help me? I'm worthless. I'm mean to you. None of that matters, he said suddenly in a very commanding voice as he looked at you again. You are a good person. You've been dealt a terrible hand in life, but nonetheless you are a good person. I'm not a good person. You are, Yin. You are, he said with absolute conviction in his voice. You stared at him, still crying as he tried to understand how he could think so highly of you. I don't understand you, you sobbed. I'm not asking for you to understand me, he said softly. You cried more. The sobbing racked your body until finally you fell into a fitful sleep that turned into a deep, restful slumber while Iida watched over you. Once your breathing patterns had normalized, Iida breathed a sigh of relief, his eyes travelling over your facial features. She is truly beautiful, inside and out, he thought with a smile. Once this is all over, I might gather the courage to confess my feelings. You slept through that night, and Iida stayed, not wanting to leave because of 3 reasons. 1, he had promised that he would stay and protect you. 2, he didn't want to randomly leave your room and have your parents see him, potentially creating more trouble. And 3, he heard your father beating your mother downstairs later that night. The things he heard that night was enough to confirm everything that he had been suspicious of, and on top of having you compensated for the ill treatment you received from your ex, he also determined that he was going to have your father pay for his crimes as well. He was not aware of your mother's emotional abuse at that point. I won't let you know about what I have heard because she quite obviously does not want anyone to know about it, but I will make him pay, he thought as he scowled at your bedroom door. The next morning you awoke with a start, flinching heavily as you stirred in your bed. You gasped as you sat bolt upright. It's morning. You looked around wildly and saw Iida fast asleep, propped up against your bedroom door, with his head hung and arms across his chest. Iida! You hissed as you hopped out of bed and knelt down in front of him, placing a hand on his shoulder to wake him. Wake up! His head snapped up, glasses falling off with the momentum of his head jerk. Yin, my sincerest apologies, he rasped in his just-woke-up voice. I should have left last night, but I told you I would stay, and you kept sleeping, so I Shh, it's fine. It's fine, you hissed. We need to get going, though. Are you coming to school today? He asked in an excited whisper. Yes, you nodded. I can't let this keep me down any longer. You fought for me. The least I can do is repay you by living my life to the fullest. Iida smiled happily, his eyes lighting up as he put his glasses back on. The best revenge is to thrive, he said gently. I'll do my best, he said with a smile, your hand still on his shoulder. You both remained looking into each other's eyes for a few moments too long before you cleared your throat and pulled back. Okay. Let me get dressed and then we can go, you said as you sat back and stood up. Iida nodded and stretched before getting up. I will not be able to leave the room to give you some privacy, but I will turn away from you, he said with a light blush on his cheeks as he turned his back to you. It's fine, you said with a shrug as you found your school uniform. Have you heard from DF? Is she okay? I am not sure, Yin. I have not heard from her, Iida said regretfully. Oh, you said softly as you slipped your sleeping top off and put your bra and school shirt on. I'll need to check on her. Yin, I have arranged a court case to have DH and his friends put behind bars, Iida suddenly blurted out, and you spun around to look at the back of him, your eyes bulging out of your skull. What? A court case? You organised that by yourself? You asked with disbelief. And there it is, the end of chapter 20. Stay tuned for chapter 21 coming tomorrow.